I'm seeing a growing population of ever younger cancer patients that, in my clinical judgment, more likely than not, have been caused by cell phone use. That segues into the American Cancer Society published data that came out in the journal Cancer. It's a very well-known cancer journal that clinicians actively read on a regular basis, just like the JAMA. And they published in 2016 that brain cancer was the leading cause of death in men under age 40. And I'm seeing this phenomena on a regular basis. I'm seeing it as young as 28, 35, with grade 4 glioblastoma patients that are presenting to my emergency room with new onset seizures for the first time. The most recent study from Yale University, also sponsored by the American Cancer Society, identified a fairly common genetic alteration that increases the risk of developing thyroid cancer. That was in response to cell phone use. So there's a direct correlation. The phone is next to the neck, it's next to the head. Salivary gland tumors have also been reported in clinical
Big
studies.
reversal for the WHO, which had insisted there is no evidence of a link between cell phones and cancer. Now it says it has found that evidence, and while it's still collecting data, felt it was necessary to issue this warning now.
The WHO concluded that low-level radiation from cell phones could possibly cause cancer.
Big reversal for the WHO, which had insisted there is no evidence of a link between cell phones and cancer. Now it says it has found that evidence, and while it's still collecting data, felt it was necessary to issue this warning now.
The WHO concluded that low-level radiation from cell phones could possibly cause cancer. A 2010 study they examined showed participants who used cell phones for more than 10 years had double the rate of a rare type of brain tumor called a glioma. Placing cell phones in the same category as lead and engine exhaust, the director of the WHO's cancer research arm said in a statement, "Given the potential consequences for public health, it is important to take pragmatic measures to reduce exposure."
A cancer-causing cell phone tower on a school campus. Well, now that is being removed. Parents fought for years with the district after 4 children were diagnosed with some form of cancer.
The question is, why aren't brain surgeons on the television 24/7 warning you about the dangers of cell phones, death towers, and wireless technology? Why? Because there's a conflict of interest. And, this industry, this wireless industry, if you will, represents billions, if not trillions of dollars of revenue for, lots of people in America. And they obviously have a financial interest to keep the truth away from you. And when you think of the influence of the telecommunications industry, it seeps into, the mainstream media, it seeps into the socialist media platforms, and so you have no way of seeing the truth on Facebook or ScrewTube because their revenue depends on Verizon, it depends on Sprint, it depends on American Tower, it depends on this industry that is poisoning you, irradiating you, and making you sick. And, children can't opt out of this radiation. Children can't opt out of these death towers. They can't opt out of these cell phones. They think it's the coolest thing ever. They think it's a toy. They might as well be giving, children real guns to play with so that they can blow their brains out because it's pretty much the same thing. And, the level of awareness when it comes to the dangers of these, death towers and death phones, it's pretty outrageous. People are so clueless to the dangers and how this impacts your health. It's not just the brain cancer. Brain cancer is really the last stop on the train. But before that, people are suffering through all sorts of neurological, behavioral problems, sleep problems, and the like. And, people aren't aware. What makes it worse is when they begin to experience the symptoms, they go into the doctor's office for an MRI for more radiation. And if that doesn't work, they better get some chemo. And so, the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why, we continue to raise awareness about these issues People need to lower their exposure, not just because of the brain damage, but also because of the damage it does to the immune system and various other metabolic pathways. And so this basically induces infection. It induces toxins entering into the body and the like. It's a huge health hazard. And, instead of just placing radiation, signs on these death hours, they need to be putting radiation signs on these cell phones as well, because on the other end of these death hours, it's a cell phone. And when you see, children playing with it, ladies and gentlemen, that's like child abuse right there. It truly is, a horrible thing to witness. And you see people these days hunched over their phones like celtards or something, zombies. The devolution of humanity has begun. We can see it quite clearly that, this is having a huge impact on people's, psychological well-being, even their physical, stature, if you will. They're all, hunchback, bent over, tech neck, and the like, facing the ground, running into things. And when you start measuring the amount of radiation that's in your environment right now, it's literally worse than being right in front of a microwave oven when it's on. And, every doctor, physician, more than likely will tell you that standing in front of the microwave oven is not a good idea. Just like doctors and physicians are trying to warn you that, carrying a cell phone on you is not a good idea. And we've repeated that warning to people before. Get a dumb phone. Get a phone that you can pull the battery out of so that you're not irradiating yourself 24/7, 24 hours a day. And there's a lot of pushback from people. They're like, how can I survive? How am I going to make it without, a cell phone? But if you understood what you were getting dosed with, it wouldn't even be a question. What's going to bother you the most in the future is, why didn't you stop sooner? And I'll tell you what, these cell phones, they're like crack. They're like crack cocaine, ladies and gentlemen. And essentially, people are addicted. They're addicted to the doom porn that they see, on the various internet platforms, and they can't stop. And if it's not doom porn, it's some other kind of porn, and people are just living in this virtual world, and they've completely opted out of the real world. And it's only going to get worse. I mean, people really want to, implant this technology into their brains, if you can believe that. The Elon Musk brain chip is coming soon. Oh yes, you're seeing the world famous EMF 390 right now from GQ Electronics, available on our website at the affiliate price of $129. It's excellent. We'll get into that. But ladies and gentlemen, people want to essentially install the brain chip into their brain. The Elon Musk brain chip. This is, just a few months from being commercialized. And, how are you going to compete out there with people that are plugged into the matrix? And think about these poor people. They're going to wake up in the morning and the first thing they're going to see is like a Google search engine show up. How may we help you? At best, if not just being locked into their own body, forced to, effectuate commands from the Skynet. This is going to turn into a nightmare before we know it. And it's already a nightmare out there, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen the current events, the civil war that's about to hit. You got this plandemic. But these, death towers and death phones and the like are a crucial part of their eugenics program. And not only that, but, the cities of the future will be using this network to surveil you, to police you, to enforce their restrictions upon you. Surveillance cameras everywhere, robocops, everything will be watching you, listening to you, and it's all going to run on this 5G backbone. That's why it's important for people, you know, to keep talking about the dangers of 5G and have it kind of be, you know, an icebreaker when meeting new people. Hey man, you know, what do you think about these death towers? Did you know your phone is, you know, irradiating you? And they might look at you a little weird, but you don't have to connect all the dots. You just have to plant some seeds because the evidence is out there. And, you know, I'm sure people have been telling them before, you know, don't use your phone, or at least don't put it next to your head, etc., etc. Just plant seeds. Warn people, get people, you know, aware of the dangers. And it's probably not until they've, you know, been impacted personally that they're going to take it seriously. But you're hearing more and more cases about brain cancer and people getting other types.
What happened to Bill Gates? Why is he not in jail? Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail? Why are all of these pedophiles that are demanding you all to listen to their rules? Why are they not in jail? Oh, is it because you're part of them? Are you part of the deep
Your
state?
time has expired.
The deep state is going down.
The deep state is going down, and so are these death towers, ladies and gentlemen. And look, everybody's got to play their part. Do something out there. Be productive and the like. And, you know, you should be aware of what you're getting dosed with in your home, in your city, in your town. Because right now they're setting up these death towers like, you know, like a choke point, if you will, and they're making you go by them in close proximity to irradiate you. Now we're looking at some exclusive video of a death tower burning to the ground in Bakersfield, California. Now, what we've noticed is that none of the death towers that are burning right now are making it into the news, and they're trying to suppress, you know, all types of activism against this radiation. And again, you know, nobody has given consent, really, for the most part, to be irradiated by these death towers. And, you know, that might sound kind of weird, but, you know, this stuff is penetrating you. And, you know, you'd think that they would need your consent. But it's just like everything else. They didn't ask you for your consent when it came to the GMOs or the pesticides. They didn't ask for your consent when they forced injected your children, or perhaps you know, people you know. They didn't ask consent when they rolled out the autism and all of their other diseases. They just do it. And so, you know, that's the problem. You're getting radiated without consent, without representation. And that's why there's a need for people to, you know, basically run for office and the like on this issue, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know, we've been talking about meters for a year now, and we absolutely have no regrets, you know, trying to get meters into people's hands, because this will change your life and it'll help, you know, expose the dangers that are around you. And, you know, we've done the comparisons between all of the other meters out there, and we really like the EMF 390 the best for the money. Now, I'm sure there's some $20,000 meters that, you know, probably look a little sexier, but for $129, you just can't go wrong with the EMF 390. It does the job, and it blows away the competition in terms of, you know, the different modes that it has and the range that it has as well. And if you check out the EMF 390 on Amazon, sold by GQ Electronics, you know, it's 97% positive. And, you know, lots of people have this meter. They make radiation detectors and various other electronic devices. They're based in Seattle, you know, kind of like the Silicon Valley of Washington. And, you know, so they put out quality products at a low price so that people can actually, you know, get that information that they need. Now, on our website, you know, we talk about, you know, the meter and all of that, the safety guidelines. And if you click on order now, that'll bring you to the GQ Electronics website with the affiliate price of $129. And, this is what the checkout form looks like. But, get one for yourself, get one for people that you know, because this will change their world. At first, it seems like, what is it? Is this from Star Trek? And the like. But the more you use the meter, the more you're going to want to know what the numbers mean. And that's probably the best way to put it. And once you understand what you're getting dosed with, that really kind of changes your outlook on all of this technology. You understand why they're selling it to you now. They're trying to kill you. It's just like everything else. It's like the fluoride in the water and the like. And they can call it, whatever they want to. It's good for your teeth. It helps you communicate, But all of these death programs are exactly what they look like. And, you can call, a pig, whatever you want to. It's still a pig. And just like everything else, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. This radiation is what it is. Now, this meter also picks up electric fields and magnetic fields, as well as radio frequency radiation. And all three are, hazardous to your health in high exposures. Linked to leukemia, linked to other types of pathologies, weakens your immune system. And so we highly recommend that people, lower their exposure to static electric fields as well as pulsed electric fields. And, the El Cheapo from Home Depot doesn't pick up the wireless radiation. So that's the reason why you have to get, kind of like a meter like this. And, they can range $200, $300, $400 real quick. And, some of them have the huge antenna and the like. And so you're like Inspector Gadget out there trying to find out what you're getting dosed with. Whereas with a meter like this, it just fits in your pocket. And you can pretty much bring it anywhere. And you really want to see, what you're getting dosed with in your bedroom, what you're getting dosed with in the living room, in the office, in the car, on your way to work, at the grocery store, at the playground, at the school, where your kids go, the daycare, etc. You really want to know because, when you go into an environment that's highly radioactive, you can tell that they just don't give a what about anything. And so this is just kind of like, people, dressing, sloppy or being rude. When you see, that you're walking into a high, radiation environment, the people there, they obviously don't care about you and they don't deserve your business. And so that's another reason why, you should get one of these. You can kind of be like a secret shopper and see, which stores are really out there, providing, a quality, product or place to shop versus, a place that's just trying to abuse you and rape you and take advantage of you and the like. So check out the EMF 390. It's, again, it's $129. You can find it on our website, stfnreport.com, or on our Facebook page, STFN Reloaded. Check that out, and you'll see that it really does blow away the competition for the money, and it's highly accurate, and it's got all of these different visual modes to kind of like see the radiation in a way that you've never seen it before. And that's that's part of the kick, is driving around with this and just seeing what people are getting dosed with, and they don't even know. Especially you think about all these people protesting right now. They don't even know what they're getting dosed with, like with this new 5G grid. But, it'll make you rethink your strategies quite a bit, the routes you take, where you park your car. A very convenient and useful product. So check that out. And again, keep raising awareness on, the radiation out there. Nothing like having a meter to motivate you, because, you have to know what you're getting dosed with. That's the only way you can really reduce your exposure. Turning off your phone and not keeping it on you is certainly one way, and that'll make a huge difference, guaranteed. But undoubtedly, you've got all sorts of, smart devices that are blasting you, everywhere in your house, and you just want to get rid of it, turn it off, unplug it, or plug it in maybe into the wired network. Wow, look at the video guy go. The video guy's looking like he's going to take off with that EMF 390. But in any case, yeah, you definitely want to lower your exposure, and a meter is probably the best way to do it, because then you can really have some kind of control when it comes to what you're getting blasted with. So otherwise, you're just running around out there naked, getting raped by the system. And they count on your complacency, or they count on your ignorance on the issue to take advantage of you. It's just like everything else. And so, you want to know what you're eating. You want to know what's in your water or in your soft drink. You want to know, the quality of the air that you're breathing. You want to know what you're getting dosed with when it comes to radiation. And you want to limit your exposure to, all of these toxins. That only makes sense in the long run. And that's why, this campaign against 5G and radiation has been successful. It just makes sense. Yeah, duh. Look, you got all the brain surgeons out there telling you, reduce your exposure. You got all the white papers and studies telling you that this stuff is, harmful. And so, of course, you're just going to want to reduce your exposure, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to all of the eugenics programs, be sure to check out our video archives on, other topics. And it's been a while since we've really covered, some of the other things out there that are worth covering, like, the lead in the water, the PFAS, and other, forever chemicals. But it all has an impact, and it all kind of basically mixes together and has, various cocktail effects. And so, yeah, controlling your environment is one of the most important things you can do out there. We'll leave it there for this broadcast. We'll be back with more later on today. Lots of news to cover. Check out our website, stfnreport.com, for the latest updates. And until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.